Okay, so I just wanted to make a super quick video about Clara and the awesome updates that have been happening and going on. Just been reading a lot about how we can best implement I say Clara, OpenClaw. Sorry, sometimes get used to the names and everything. So I've been watching a lot of videos trying to figure out how we can best use her, the models, setting up the brain, setting up the muscles, right? And so I'm going to show you guys a quick little rundown of how we've built this out and just how it's working so far. So as you can see, we have like all these different group chats, right? So this is where like I'll be able to send messages in the Telegram, right? And so what we did here is we actually created a mission control where it has everything in here. So it has like the command center where it'll eventually be linked to our Stripe, how many monument companies and everything, Pontus Hub. We created Pontus Team, so it's called the War Room. It shows just basically like a live view of, what's going on. So we have our Chief Strategy Officer, is Clara, and then Blake and I at the top. And then you have Opus is just there like on demand. So like when we do that, Codex, basically if he's like coding anything, and then all these different sub agents that are, that can be activated, right? So Gemini when it's doing research, Sales Scout, content creator, analyst, that type of thing to doing research. We have analysts on Haiku, just because we were looking at getting like the local model, so Olama on the machine, but it was about to take up 5 gigabytes. We only have an 8 gigabyte RAM Mac Mini, and so it's going to take up a lot of that. Knowledge is something I just set up. Actually, it's really sweet. Basically, in our Telegram channel, I'll just like send in any type of like link or whatever, right? And it just like will automatically scrape whatever it is that's there, right? So like x.com, there was like this thing about like setting up the OpenClaw system overview, right? Then it was about Sonnet 4.6 that just launched, right? This other YouTube video I watched, right? So it scrapes the transcripts and everything. And so then it like will upload that, right? It'll like respond back with like a summary of what it said. And then what it does is I have this like search functionality where I can like, find articles or YouTube or Twitter, right? But then I can look up, say if I was like, there was something I typed in there about Sonnet, right? So it's this cool video I watched, right? And it'll find whatever it is, right? So it uses Gina API, right? Then eventually I'm going to build this out where like we can ask Clara inside here about whatever it is that I've uploaded. Say, hey, there was something about this. What are your thoughts on that type thing, right? So it uses AI to like go against whatever it is inside here, right? And then this is another cool one. It's the radar. So basically if I find like any articles or whatever, I'll just upload, I'll send it to the Telegram chat. And then it'll put it in radar of like, competitors that are there, what's going on in the industry, other signals and stuff like that. I noticed that there was a lot of other issues that were going on with our with memory for Clara. And so I was like, what can we do? So like I did reverse prompting, right? So I was like, what could you set up to increase and improve your memory, whether there's like a new session or anything like that, right? And so it created this like Pontus Bible basically, right? So anytime you do like, /new, right? So if you hit like that one error that says, like this is like a new session, right? It's like, tokens or like the context is too much, right? I basically have it reprogrammed so that every time it has like a new thing or it's about to give like strategy, it always consults the Bible first, right? It's because I realized that there was some stuff that was like when it was compacting the information. So like from one session, it'll go from, okay, yeah, it's $25 per unit to the next session, which says they provide it to monument companies. And the next one says they give it to monument companies for free. And I was like, well, why would it do that? Like it's just compacting over time. With the compaction, it would lose its stuff. So now we have the Bible where every time it has like a compaction or anything like that, it always consults the Bible, and then it's also having correction logs. So it's logging whatever it is that it says business model misstatement, right? That way it can keep track of everything, right? And then I can always update it as we go along, that type of thing. Security, I basically set up this thing where I can like run security scans through our code base. I found this like very interesting GitHub prompt stuff for this, and it was like, you just add security layers to my AI assistant. Oh, sorry, that was a different security one. No, it was this one. Security Council, right? So create an automated nightly security review that runs at 3:30 a.m. and analyzes my entire code base. Use AI to actually read through the code, not just static. Analyze from 4 perspectives. Offensive, what could an attacker exploit? Defensive, are protections adequate? Data privacy is sensitive, data handled correctly? And operational realism. Are security measures practical or just theater? Produce a structured report and numbered findings delivered to Telegram. Critical findings, blah, blah, blah. So I did that, which was really nice. Cron jobs, right? So I basically just have the cron jobs listed, right? So we have the morning brief, morning research, and then, research iterator, OpenClaw skill discovery. I'm going to actually work on, figure out what's going on with this one, because I realized this one hasn't been running. So it's like running every day. Sessions, so like what Clara is currently working on. So like right now we have 5 active right here. So this is just like the different sessions. And then right here I also had it create like a model usage, so we can track how much we've spent for the API, that type of thing, what model is most used, pricing of it, and just like the normal statistics using the APIs that we have, right? And so just super important stuff. Right now, I've been working on this partners thing. So we literally created a custom CRM. I'm not going to show you like all of the stuff just because I don't want that to be shown. It basically is just like a custom CRM of different partners that we have and everything right there, right? And then I have it so that like now inside partners, I can then like I have a contact card, or I like just upload it and like send a text. Hey, we just had a call with Bob from St. George, and then have an update when like last contact was, right? And then based off that, like we'll have like these like it'll say these guys haven't been contacted in so long, you need to reach out to them, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, and so just super helpful, right, for us. And then now, oh, this is sweet. It just created this like literally right now. Confirm the planning, right? So my buddy and I, we realized like, okay, well, we've been struggling so far with weekly planning. How can we do this? So now we have like this whole custom group inside planning. And so now we're going to create our quarterly goals. And this is going to be super helpful, right? So we're going to be creating our quarterly goals. So like adding these, right? The metrics, stuff like that. And then from right there, it'll help us create, Blake and I will have to do this. And then we'll say, all right, based on our quarterly goals, help us create weekly goals so that we can accomplish our quarterly goals. And then what it will do is it'll then prompt us how we basically had it. It was like, it'll prompt us like what we need to do on a daily basis to accomplish those weekly goals. And then we just go like, hey, like inside our Kanban board, like, hey, like, no, this is done actually, right? So like, this is what we need to do. We've already done this, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll be like, what else do you think would be high leveraged things to do today, right? And so super, super sweet. But and then well, I told her too, I was like, what I've realized is like by us setting this up, by the planning and having the quarterly, weekly, and daily goals, what we can do then is make sure that whatever it is, even at night or whatever, that she as a chief strategy officer is thinking through our weekly goals, right? Quarterly goals, and then is looking at the weekly goals and what needs to get done, and then can deploy these different sub-agents in order to slowly hack away at the goals and tasks that we still have to do, right? I haven't done anything with this just now just because she just created it. But that's what we were thinking. It was just like, how can we help her be more autonomous, more self-learning, right? And so now as long as we keep setting this up where we, give her access, we like tell her like, okay, these are the goals that we want to achieve. Why is this blurring out right now? Wow. What is going on? Oh, my goodness. It's blurring. Okay. I don't know why this is happening, but, yeah. So like, as long as we give her these goals and these ideas of like what she needs to achieve, she can then think more strategically about how we can achieve it, right? And then eventually we're going to give her Google access, read-only access. So that way she can keep up with access to partners, seeing, when contacts have happened, what we need to do, that type of thing. So right now I'm just data dumping into here. And then hopefully this will be the structure and the layout of how she can best act autonomously, intelligently, and then, make more better educated decisions. But I think she has like a pretty good foundation and everything. So anyways, this is just what we've been building the last day. It's crazy to say that. Woo! You want to slide down? I'm just kidding. So yeah, this is literally what I built in 12 hours, right? And it honestly shouldn't have taken me 12 hours. I was just watching videos on how to build it, the prompts that were necessary, what is good for it and everything like that. It's just like I was reading about like mission control, right? And how people are like the Claude Sonnet 4.6, for example, of like what it is and how it actually is super helpful. And like what it's trained against, right? Like just the different models, trying to figure that out, and how we can separate brains from muscles and how they best work together. But yeah, so obviously it's still ever evolving. I mean, there's some crazy stuff that's going to be coming out, but this is really good and helpful to try and keep an eye on things, of the spec. I feel like with Telegram, it's been hard to just keep a track of what's been said, what how we can best use Telegram, how we can change it from being something that says like, hey, do this for us, to like, hey, like, be proactive, be efficient, do whatever you need to do. What we need to do and what needs to happen to get there. Help us with the strategy, help us with execution on the strategy. And so hopefully we can start creating, a better, OpenClaw. So might end up upgrading to something more powerful, but right now I feel like what we have, the Mac Mini, I think it's just fine. And so, yeah, hopefully more to come, but that's just what we've built so far. Good things coming. Buddy, chew.